Welcome to the Kentucky X-Files, Season 2, with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode. Now, on to our show.
Crouched down. For me, at first, I thought it was just a footage thing.
I thought it was a bear. You can tell the difference between like a small or spindly leg creature and something with a larger foot. And it was big. Whatever it was, ran straight down at us and just stopped. It was pitch black. Couldn't see it.
And most of these witnesses that come close to these scenes could have been killed.
It was beating on the side of the house. I didn't get the side of the house as it went by.
Now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a dog.
I needed someone to have pure faith in a higher power at that moment, and nobody fucking did.
Welcome back, guys, to your Kentucky X-Files.
Yeah, it was a failed bird.
I love these pads.
I see that.
Yeah,
You're having a good time.
I feel like a high-paid engineer.
This is really a cool break for me because I'm usually the dude behind that, and I'm like, tonight I just get to hang out. And that's awesome.
To hang out.
Yeah,
but it is a little on the sad side tonight because we got everything. We got the new pod, the Rodecaster Pro, our mics. We sound great. We got Beal. Yeah. But the one thing we're missing is
Josh.
We're missing Josh.
Josh's not here.
This is a busy weekend for him. So
he's got family things going on, and he's busy cooking and cleaning, and probably I don't know, he's killing bears.
Yeah, I think that's what he
does.
I think that's what he's putting on at that birthday party. He's wrestling a bear.
Yeah, and he kills the bear and then he eats it.
He smokes it.
Well, he smokes it and then he eats it. He feeds everybody else.
Yeah, because he's a gentleman first.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna just. Yeah, I miss him.
Yeah, I miss him.
Do you miss him?
I think we should call him.
Let's call him.
Let's call him.
Fuck it, let's call him.
Okay. Hopefully he
did. He totally said earlier, I need my space, guys, but I feel like 10 minutes is enough space.
Yeah, and plus he looked you dead in the eyes and said it was all your fault.
He did not. He was looking at both of us.
Hello?
Hey, there he is.
You're on Kentucky X-Files.
Oh,
you're on
long time listener, first time caller.
Yay! Yeah.
Greetings. Nice. Greetings from Party Central here, smoker preparation area.
Dude,
sorry I couldn't be in person today.
We told everybody the truth about what you were doing.
Oh God,
we did. We didn't. I mean, we were only 6 beers in right now, so everything was accurate, 110%.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We even added. We even made sure that everybody knows that after you fight and kill the bear, you'll smoke the bear
and you'll feed everybody because you're a gentleman.
That's right. Yeah.
As is tradition.
Yes. So everything was 100% accurate.
Well, that's good. That's good. Did you receive the beer gift from the beer cooler that I sent with Tyler?
Yep. We are drinking them right now.
We're drinking them right now. Skull to you, man.
Skull.
Hey, skull, fellas.
Good honey browns. Mm-hmm. It's not the same without you, Josh.
Yep.
I mean,
I know.
We're sitting here.
I know.
We made a cardboard cutout of you.
Yeah. And then the fire picked up and it caught on fire.
We tried to save it because we were like, no.
I dove onto it and yeah.
He did. And then he's like stayed on it because he said he was putting the fire out.
Yeah.
Are you burning me in effigy? Is that what's going on right now?
It's good now. Tyler stayed on it for a good 20 minutes to make sure.
I got 3rd-degree burns, but it's worth it.
Nice.
So yeah,
I knew there was going to be a messed up weekend, and I knew you guys had a call-in guest, and it's lined up for tonight. And I was like, I want to be a call-in guest too, because I can't be there. And I figured I could take 15, 20 minutes and hang out with you guys for a second.
Oh yeah.
I've got a solid 45, 50 pounds of meat that I have to prep for tomorrow morning's smoker.
Holy shit.
So yeah, I've been hard at it. I took a vacation today, and I've been a vacation day today rather.
Oh, yeah.
Been hard at getting the place ready to go, getting the wood here, cleaning the smoker, cleaning the place up, making the garage accessible for humans.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Tyler stopped by. He's seen everything. He's seen the preparation.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's not real nice.
Nice.
I know. Yeah. It's weird. It's like this is the anniversary weekend for me and the wife.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's just October. I said it jokingly like a week ago, but October is a busy goddamn month for us.
It is
for everybody.
And plus my son's birthday was past Tuesday, and I'm going to be celebrating it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. So, you've got your son's birthday, you've got Denny's and Kat's wedding anniversary, and I believe your dating anniversary, too, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, so you got a double anniversary this week.
Double anniversary,
My stepdaughter turned 16 today, guys. Or not today, but Wednesday. But tomorrow's her festivities. I'm that old.
How are you feeling about the whole driving prospect? Because I can tell you how I feel about it.
I think she's going to do good. I really do. I think that over the next 6 months, it's going to test my patience and decide whether I can murder a child.
Dude,
but
you know what? I want to take a minute to go ahead and give my daughter a big shout out for this. She actually impressed the shit out of me.
Nice.
So we got this old van from Kat's stepdad, right? Randy.
Right.
Shout out to Randy. Shout out to everybody. And the feeding tube to the gas tank.
Yeah.
On the old caravans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it rusted up at the top, right where it like screws into the body.
Yeah.
It rusted there. So for years he's getting gas. Gas is trickling down on the outside of this tube and where it's going, right? I went out to practice driving with her. I'm in the passenger seat. We drove all the way to the store.
Yeah.
The store you passed to get here.
Yeah.
All right. She didn't have brakes the whole time because that fuel was rusting out the brake lines. There was a trail of brake fluid from here to there.
Yeah.
And she did all right. Wow. And I'm like, that's a terrifying thing to think about, but props to Sam, man.
That's what I said. I was like, I'm surprised we're alive.
Yeah.
But I'm really proud that she did it pretty good. Once we realized that there was no brakes, then it was a whole new lesson, and she understands it now. She understands downshifting into low gears and slamming it into reverse when you really got to stop if you don't have brakes.
Yeah, that's one of those events where you don't want to have to show your child how to handle it, but you're glad that they can.
I was really impressed, man. So I hope that you have an experience just like... I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I hope you don't have an experience like that, but it was pretty wild.
Right. Well, luckily, currently the motor for the El Camino is in several pieces on a shelf.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about that being an issue because I know she's a big fan of the car.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's intimidated by my Duramax. So I'm pretty sure if she's going to wreck anything, it's going to be my Sans Jeep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
So there's that.
Well, once we get these kids over this hump, man, I mean, it's kind of an honor, to like kind of get them to this stage in their life. Yeah.
Right. And I've got to give Charlotte a credit because she's a sort of a pseudo gearhead. She's not really into cars and stuff, but when there's stuff going on, she'll hang around and help.
Yeah.
She's helped me. She helped me put a winch on the side by side. She's helped me. We redid all the door panels and interior parts and handles and cranks and stuff on the El Camino together.
Awesome.
I really believe that when I start putting the motor together, if I say, "Hey, man, you want to come out?" she would 100% come out and hang out.
Awesome.
To get an idea of how things work.
Yeah.
So I say she's a pseudo gearhead.
Hell yeah.
She'll come do it, but I don't know that she's ever going to have a car poster on her, bedroom wall.
Right. Yeah. I teased Sam when she came home with her permit. I was like, she's like, I got my permit. I was like, sweet. Did you get doubles and triples? She's like, what? I'm like, what about hazmat and tanker? She's like, I think is this like a CDL joke? And I'm like, oh my God, you got it. So you get points just for getting the joke, yeah. She's like, I don't think I'm ready to even think about a semi. I'm like, okay. Now, this is a kid that she was like 10 years old and I was putting her on a Bobcat. Like I put her in a Bobcat and let her drive it,
That's awesome.
Yeah. We had what do you remember the size of the bulldozer I had out here?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I don't remember what size it was. It was like D something.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big one.
No, I want to say it was like probably maybe a little bit smaller than a semi, but not. It wasn't like a big.
It was a
dozer.
D6 or is D6?
Yeah, D6. D6 are pretty small.
Okay, so
as far as dozers go,
yeah, it was like a D6. It was like just enough to level out a plot. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I asked her, I was like, Sam, do you want to drive this? And she's literally like, I'm scared, but I really want to drive it. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. And then we rented an excavator. Remember that? The excavator. And then she wanted to drive that too. So she had a blast. Like I've never had a trouble getting her to ride stuff. She's always,
That's cool. I figure I'm going to take Charlotte out on the side by side. We'll practice with no power steering and a roll cage.
That's first. A good call. Yeah. Hell yeah. Give her.
That thing. Well, I mean, that thing. It's enough to get away from you. It's not like a big 1,000 turbo or nothing. But I literally had it up to 55 miles an hour on the highway today.
Holy shit.
With a back road highway. I had to go get firewood, and if you don't keep up with traffic, you get run over.
Yeah, I get you.
And I can tell you for the listeners out there. Anybody that's into off-road vehicles will be laughing their ass off currently. 15-year-old wore-out off-road mud tires at 55 on blacktop.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, what a trip that is. Let me tell you.
It's like the shimmy all the way down the road.
Oh, man. It looked like an epileptic turtle going down through there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good times, but I got the firewood here for the smoker, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man, it's awesome. Yeah, we're sitting out here. We got the picnic table going. I got the grill sitting here. I'm just throwing wood in the grill, just letting it burn.
Nice. There you go. You guys are missing the garage a little bit, ain't you?
A little bit. It's pretty, dude, honestly, though, if you saw the sky right now out here, I'm sure you could see it from your place, but out here,
I'm outside as well.
It is, it's pretty damn beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty nice over here on this side of this the little creek between us.
Hell yeah.
If the listeners don't know that Denny and I are, we're 20 minutes away from each other driving.
Yeah.
Only because there's no bridge or ferry.
Yeah.
It would be a 7-minute drive. It would be.
It is such bullshit because we're like literally right here. You know what I mean?
Like we could like walk to the river and yell across it to each other.
I think that like, one day we sat there and like we're pointing it out on a map. We're like, dude, this is such shit. Like, we need a pontoon boat.
Right, just a ferry. like pay a farmer. Like, hey man, like can we give you like $20 a year to park a pontoon boat here?
Like, I'll totally drive my car down to it and then jump on a pontoon, float across, and then dock, and then just be like, hey Josh, I'm at the ferry. Come get me. You know?
Right. You know I'd come over in the side by side and pick you and Tyler up.
Yeah, dude.
It'd take 8 minutes.
It would, dude. It'd be amazing. God, it'd be awesome. Yeah,
we should talk to the Chamber of Commerce about that.
We really do need to. I mean, if they want
a rope bridge, something.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is Kentucky, Northern Kentucky's like paranormal, like unexplained podcast. They need to throw us a bone here. Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know who we need to call.
I don't know either. And I'm in building and construction, so
somebody's got to know something.
Right, but see, I never, we don't build buildings on the river, I don't know anything about riparian rights. I'm not sure, like, who do you talk to about getting dock rights? Like, maybe we could just, like, propose a rope bridge or something,
Like an old, like, Indiana Jones, like, rope bridge?
Yes, exactly.
I could just see this going terribly wrong.
Or terribly right.
I almost saw Tyler go into that river one night.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, he did not lose the goddamn fish.
I did not.
Dude, he got that fish. It was a big-ass drum. You know what I mean? A big old, bull, what do they call, bull carps or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, that thing snatched that fishing pole like a bullet.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm like, Tyler, your pole. Dude, Tyler, I don't even think you looked. He literally dove, like, down and, like, caught the fishing pole and, like, rolled and then fought this fish in. And I'm like, dude, if that's not an epic goddamn moment to just carry with you throughout history, I don't know what is, because it was fucking amazing to see it.
For a big fella, he is surprisingly spry.
He's fucking quick.
Right.
He's right. You saw him tonight, Kay. You saw him before I did. Okay. As soon as I seen him, I immediately noticed that he lost a bunch of weight. Did you notice it too?
Right. Yep.
Dude, it's crazy, and I saw him a week ago.
Right.
So it's really messing with my head because I'm like,
Tyler is the human equivalent to those semi-trucks, like the Peterbilts and the Kenworths that they strap jet engines to the back of.
Yeah.
Where you can hear it getting angry for a minute, and then it's 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. I've seen him move quick. He can do it. He's fucking fast. It's like burst. It's like nitrous.
Yeah.
Highly legal on the streets.
Dude, it was fucking amazing. If you just seen
that your
night,
DJ name?
Yeah, dude, we were sitting there and we're sitting there fishing, man, and I remember at the time you were like, man, I never really got to go fishing that much.
Yeah.
So I like made it my mission. I'm like, dude, we're getting fish. We're gonna drink beers. We're gonna fish. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna bond. God, we're gonna hug. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's gonna be a great time.
Mission for fishing.
A mission for fishing. And then the carp thing happened, and I saw him like leap and roll and like dive and catch the pole as it was going into the river. And then he fought the fish out, and I'm like, oh my God.
I've got a wild idea, guys. And I want to see what the guests think about here, not the guests, but the listeners. I want to see what they think about this. Now that we've got a better piece of recording equipment, that does so much more.
Right.
I wonder if we should maybe rent a pontoon boat somewhere.
Yeah.
And do an episode while we're fishing.
I think we should definitely do that. I'm 1,000,000% into this idea.
Yeah.
I think it's like a good excuse for the three of us to get on the water and go fishing somewhere.
Yeah.
and use it as a ruse and just call it an episode.
I think we should absolutely use it as a ruse. We just won't tell anybody. That way nobody's going to know.
Right.
We'll
like we won't tell. We won't tell anybody that, like, maybe naysayers, you know. What do you listeners think? You think we should rent a pontoon boat and go fishing and have an episode while we're fishing? And, like, we could, like, do posts on Facebook of the fish we catch?
Yeah.
You know for a fact everybody's like this. Of course.
They're Kentuckians.
Like,
I already know they're going to be like, yeah, dude, seriously.
Why haven't you done it?
Why haven't you already done it?
They'll probably be more ashamed that we haven't done it. Like, why do you need our permission? Go do it, you assholes.
Can we name the episode a Mission for Fishing?
Mm-hmm.
Mission for Fishing.
I love it. See, I've got the best ideas when I'm drinking beer.
That's what I'm saying. You know? Dude, think of all the great ideas we're going to have while we're fishing and drinking beer together. And doing our show at the same time. Dude, this is amazing.
Right?
This is going to be good.
Yeah,
I love it.
I still think it's funny that we, like, literally called ourselves out when we talked about, like, hey, we should go and do a Sasquatch, like, you know, like a Sasquatch hunt. You know what I mean? Where we go out looking for Squatch. And then I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll pack up my cast iron skillets and, you know, I'll pack a cooler of breakfast stuff. And then Gibbs is like, dude, I'll bring a smoker and a grill, dude. We'll do some steaks. And then pretty soon we're like, dude, we're not going to look for Bigfoot. We're going to just be
camping.
Three assholes camping and literally having a blast because we're just, like, eating all day and drinking.
Right. I'll have to send a picture of me drinking beer, sitting in my easy chair, watching the smoker roll, with a little sign that says, "I'm sorry, I missed the entire episode," or something like that.
Yeah.
And that way you guys can post that.
Hell yeah. I want to, for this episode, I know this is a different type of episode. We're just kind of hanging out tonight, having fun, talking, bullshitting, but a little shout out to my guys at work, and I am cracking open the boosh tonight. Lots of boosh.
Nice. Is it full boosh?
Or it's not. It's
boosh light.
It's the favorite around the shop, the boosh latte.
The boosh latte. Well, I've got to give a little shout out to Latrobe Brewing Company for filling these delicious green bottles of Rolling Rock for me, and shout out to Tyler for being my hero.
Oh yeah,
and delivering the beer.
I'm just saying, it's a service that needs to be, like, implemented now.
I think perfect timing. He said, "Hey man, I need to swing by and grab, you know, microphones and headsets so we can do this." And I was like, "Hey man, I need beer."
Right?
We can make a trade.
Right. This will work out great. I'll let you come get your stuff if you bring me a beer.
One more little shout out to Mike at the carry out there for supplying it and forcing me to deliver it every week.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Denny for delivering the beer in the first place to the store in which Tyler brought it to me.
You know what, man? 90% of the time, I do it for myself. But the other 10%, I do it for the fans of the beer. Mike, he's doing the blood diamond thing, like holding back the supply of Rolling Rocks he has in the back of the building.
Right. I'm sorry. I feel like we just changed the podcast to Kentucky alcoholics. Or
you know what? We've hit them with 2 or 3 heavy episodes. You know what? Tonight is our night. We're having fun. Right.
Exactly. What time did you guys call me? Let me look at the counter here. See where we're at here. We're 20 minutes in. Man, I'll stick around for a little while longer. You know, if you guys want to have a buffer episode, and then you guys could call the other guest and have our Thursday episode if you want to do that.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Let me hit him. Let me send him with a message real quick. 1 second here. I know we can edit. It's not a big deal.
I love that you is that the royal we? Because you're the one that edits. Because I think he doesn't trust me and Josh.
Hey, you got to give a shout out to Sweetwater there, Tyler.
Shout out to Sweetwater, man. They turn around. I just bought this
Their
new
customer service.
I bought this new Rodecaster Pro to upgrade our setup here, and it was like the LED screen was like popping up. It was already broke. I sent them a message, sent them a couple pictures. They're like, "Yeah, we're definitely going to send another one out for you, man." And it's here today. I'm like,
right?
Dang, I did that like earlier this week, like Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
And it came.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, for the people that listen, if you're musicians and you haven't messed with Sweetwater, like you'll buy something from them, and then they'll call you a couple days after you get it to make sure you like it.
No.
And then like a week later, you'll come home from work and they're mowing your grass, and then they'll send you like birthday cards and water your plants and
You
walk
wake
your
up in
dog.
the morning and he's like right next to you,
giving you breakfast in bed. I'm telling you, the customer service of Sweetwater is ridiculous. It'll make you go through rocks.
Really? Oh God, it's just my Sweetwater agent. Oh, Jesus, scared me there for a second. Thought you were a stranger.
I forgot I gave you a key.
That's the thing is, you'll do that. You'll be like, "Hey man, here's my home number, my cell number, my work number, the passcode to my back door, my birthday, my mom's birthday."
Is that one of them things where you're like, you text the old lady and she's like, "Oh, I'm out with your Sweetwater agent," and you're like, "Yeah, that rascal."
That rascal.
You guys, you be safe.
Yeah, but he brings you back a doggy bag.
Yeah, he like actually thinks of you.
Right.
Bless their hearts. Oh, God.
Yeah, so Sweetwater, guys, if you're musicians listening, that's where you need to buy your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It'll make you go through rocks at Guitar Center, Musician's Friend.
Well,
absolutely.
I would like to throw this out there because we were just talking about that. We've been wanting to shout out to musicians out there. If you got a band or you got music that you want to, you got music that you haven't put out yet or anything like that, just send it to us. We need outro songs and stuff, and we can feature it on our show, kind of give you
a
little buzz going around.
Absolutely, man. There's a lot of people downloading this show now, so if you got music you want to throw in. Is that the train? That
is the train.
We can hear the train.
Can you hear the train? And can you hear it from your place?
No, I didn't hear it from our place.
Just through my earbuds.
Well, Denny's place.
I don't. Sometimes we can, but I think he's got to be a little bit further south before we can hear him.
Gotcha. I think he's headed that way.
All right.
It's hard. Yeah, he's headed south, so you'll be able to hear him in a second.
All right. Well, we got the mics wide open. We have no processing, no noise gates, or anything going. So, any sound we have out here, you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah, I wish that I could get a little further away from the house and get something like the crickets and bugs and stuff in the backyard.
Yeah.
But I'm on Wi-Fi calling. That's the only only way that we can make this work because there is no cell reception where I live. So I'm on a cell phone, but I'm tethered like I'm on a landline.
Right.
I'm just kind of walking circles in the garage.
Okay. This was I actually wanted to, since we got Gibbs on the phone here, so we said that we're going to continue this conversation a little bit longer, and I wanted to give a little taste back of what we lost on that Thursday episode about we were talking about serial killers.
Oh, the serial killer. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to kind of touch base. I know it's not going to be as organic as it was before, but I felt like we have a lot, and I feel like a lot of people out there, because they just probably started watching that, it's a biopic series about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay.
And I just letting just letting people know, it was a good show, but I'm not condoning anything he has. But I will say this, I was asking, what does anybody out there, listeners, do you guys think that what he did, was he bound to do that, or do you believe that it was circumstances of how he was raised? Because it depicts that he had a rough childhood, especially his mom having disorders, she was battling depression, anxiety, and all that stuff, and she wasn't the greatest of caregivers to him. So I my standpoint on this, for somebody that can do those types of things, I believe that it was inevitable. It was something that was inside their DNA that made that makes them feel like that. I don't know how. I know that last time you had some rebuttals on how I was thinking there, Josh.
Yeah, I was leaning towards the God complex thing.
Yeah.
Where, a guy like that was most likely, looked down upon his entire life. He was the weakling. He was the, unpopular person. He was, just the outcast, and when the nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So when he has when he goes out and does those things, it creates a changing paradigm, and basically, he's the end all be all at that point. He decides who lives and who dies. It creates a power change.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it did depict that he was he had he had the same thing, anxiety and separation anxiety, because especially his mom didn't seem like she cared, but especially his dad was traveling. I don't know I can't remember what he actually did for work, but he left a lot, so he was he was left to his own accord a lot because his mom didn't really show interest in him, and his dad was normally gone because of work.
I was going to say, wasn't his dad in the medical field?
Yeah, because that's how the whole thing started. Because his dad started to pick up roadkill and he would dissect it. But then again, would you yeah, I know he was a little kid, but do you feel that could have triggered? I triggered him to start wanting to do these types of things, but if you would say that him dissecting animals and stuff of roadkill, would people kids that are interested of being doctors and stuff like that, would you feel like they're considered they could be serial killers or somebody that could find enjoyment in doing that? I don't see that, so. But the roadkill thing as a whole, I feel he was more interested in the instead of saving lives, he was more interested in seeing what's going on. He was aroused by the look and feel of what the insides were. So
right.
He wasn't the normal person that would want to they find it the human body fascinating, where they're I could, if I do this or do this, I can become a doctor, I can help people, or stuff of that. So that's where I was always getting it, and that's and I was wondering too is that's why I keep leaning towards that he was bound to do this was bound to happen to him, because no matter how, if his dad didn't do the whole roadkill thing, he would have done it himself. He would have tortured animals, and that's a telltale sign of what you were talking about, the whole God complex. As a little kid, kid that has those feelings, and they start torturing little animals, that's because they want to torture something that's smaller than them. So that's why I was like, I don't think that anything that went on in his life really triggered it, but it didn't help it either.
Right. I think somebody that does these things, I believe, and obviously I'm no expert, so I'll speculate wildly here. I believe that, there's a predisposition there. There's certain cards that have to line up for somebody to be able to do the thing.
Uh-oh. We got to pause here. We lost Gibbs.
We lost him. Let's see if we can get him back here again. There he is. Okay, let me switch back. There we go.
Hey, I'm back.
There he's back.
You remember where you were at?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know where you guys lost me, though. I was saying that it's predisposed. There's cards that are going to fall and line up for somebody to be able to do such things.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Again, I'm speculating wildly because I'm no expert in this field by any stretch. But it would make sense that there's, how people always say that there's a fine line between genius and madness.
Yeah.
Maybe the same thing falls between, somebody that's destined to be a surgeon and save lives versus somebody that's destined to destroy life.
I can
there's an opposite. I guess we could go with along the lines. There's always an opposite to the negative.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's always somebody
yin and yang.
Yin and yang.
Yeah. I can get behind that because I agree with that because it's literally my whole, what do you call it? Theory would be that it's a dopamine release at the wrong time. You know how like you hear it for years. It's like, oh, that's a chemical imbalance. You know what I mean? Well, it's like,
right.
Well, I think that's the imbalance. It's like, we have what's the word? Positive reinforcement or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it's like this. He sees this weird, messed up shit, and he's getting a dopamine release from it. So his everything about him is just associating this with this is good. This is this is enjoyable. This is right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And it may be that, or it may be it's a where he's focusing outward instead of on himself.
Right.
Maybe deep down he knew that he was a monster.
Yeah.
But didn't have the ability to kill himself.
Yeah, he did. Like it did show. And I know a lot of these biopics won't give you every single detail of life because things are like a lot of it's speculation and all that. So
it's also got to be entertaining.
Yeah, especially it has to be entertaining for people. So there might be some things that are skewed, but it did show. He did say that he did not. I think he killed his he killed his first victim.
Yeah.
And then he didn't do it for 9 years. He held off his compulsion because he knew. That's the thing where I don't like the whole term of how.
Well, it's like he might be messed up, but he's not stupid.
He knows that it's wrong. He knows that he feels that it's wrong.
It's kind of like the whole like think of book smarts versus street smarts. His book smarts are telling him this is messed up and I need to not do this. But his other instinct is I need to do this.
Yeah.
Well, his other instinct is this is how we're going to do this without being caught.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
Sorry, I'm tending a fire as we talk here.
I thought maybe I dropped the call again or something. I was like, oh crap, I'm gone again.
No, I've got wood burning and falling out of the pit. I should have cut up my cedar, but I didn't. So I just lean it on there, and then it breaks off and burns and falls off, and I have to go and tend it.
Right.
It sure does smell good, though.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I'm just but I still think we're coming back to the same thing that he was saying. Like he was saying, like a dopamine release is that it's happening at where like most people would see that stuff and be mortified, or even like thinking about it. Like even like the whole thing of eating somebody. I don't know anybody that would look at somebody and just say that's like I want to eat.
You gonna
somebody.
finish your Tyler?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying is that it would make you sick.
Could you pass the Gibbs?
Yeah, like that's so. So like, what's like?
Do you have any Denny?
That's what I'm like saying is that what like it has to be something in himself, and it was there from the beginning. Like I don't know how like those types of people you could. The only way you could keep it in check is if he was watched 24/7.
Yeah,
like he was in a like a what are the like not an asylum. What are they called? Like like a treatment center or anything of that.
Yeah.
So
like a sanatorium.
Yeah, something that would help people that have like psychotic incidents, and because that's the only way to keep it. Because he knows that he's doing wrong, but his body's telling it it's right.
Yeah.
And so, like,
but is it though? Is it telling him that it's right, or is he? Is it compulsory?
I'm just saying it's like sex. Like we know that we. Okay, let's go down that route. We know we should.
You and I have a sidebar because when Tyler's comparing sex to serial killing, I'm starting to have a little concern for our little buddy.
Hey,
a little worried about our.
I'm asking for a friend, Tyler. How would you cook me in Gibbs? Is that in bad taste? Oh God, that one hurt.
Yeah,
that hurt to say.
But what I'm trying to say is that it's like sex because we know that we know that there's diseases out there and stuff, like having multiple sexual partners. It's a risk, but we do it because we enjoy the end result.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is that he's getting the same kind of release. He knows that, like, he shouldn't do it. I'm not saying that, I people out there, I know that sex is not as bad as eating and murdering somebody, but the same feelings as what he's feeling is the same, I would say, as sex. Because
dopamine release. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, so there has to be something wrong with the person.
All right.
So he was automatically going to have these feelings. I feel like some people would have. I feel like I don't think that he was a rare case. Like there's been a bunch of serial killers in our time, but what I'm saying is that I feel like there's some people that they have that release, that dopamine release, to thinking of killing somebody, or if they did,
right,
but they probably it's not as severe as his was. Because I feel like his went so far that he actually ate his victims.
Yeah.
So, like, and he enjoyed
didn't
that.
He say, like, he did it because he wanted them to be a part of him or something?
Yeah, because he didn't want them to go. Because they said that he has a lot of separation anxiety.
See, that's like the thought. Like Tyler, when we're done here tonight, you're gonna probably head home.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. Like, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
There's like nothing about this that I'm like, I want to eat Tyler and keep him here.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not like, but you're not seeing that.
No, I know, but I'm like, there's nothing about it where I'd be like, I want to eat Tyler with some fava beans.
Yeah, and a nice Chianti. Have some.
You can't have a serial killer episode
jerky
without a shout, like an honorable mention.
Yeah,
Hannibal, come on.
Right, that's a given.
Yeah, he. Crap, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. But yeah, that's all. Like, that's all I think. Like, and plus, you were saying that when I leave, you're like, oh, okay, I don't want to eat Tyler.
Yeah,
but you're not. I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying I've never had the thought.
Okay.
I'm just saying that right now.
You're gonna totally get me off track again.
I'm sorry.
But but I'm saying is that it's not that you're normal than he is.
Yeah.
It's just saying that what's going on in his head is different from you. Like from you. Like so. Like we were saying, it's like it has to be something in the brain, or in your being. It's not malevolent, or it's not like something's controlling him or any of that sort. It has to be something that I feel like no matter what path he had, he was going to go down that road. And like, because if you want to go down another road, it's like what was the one the killer clown that we what was his name?
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah,
John Wayne Gacy. He was an entrepreneur. He owned businesses and all this stuff. So he was almost in a way opposite from Dahmer, because Dahmer, like it depict him, he was an outcast, like as an outcast, and he didn't get good grades. He never fit in. But John Wayne Gacy, people loved that guy.
Right, he was charismatic.
He had that.
Yeah,
he had that characteristic where people they say like he had like a sharp tongue, like he could wheel and deal everything, and he had his business and stuff of all that. So it has to be in the person. That's why I'm like always confused. Is they talk about telltale signs and all this about somebody, but I don't think it's not bare bones like that. There's
it's not cookie cutter. Every serial killer does the same thing.
Yeah,
Ed Gein was an entirely different person from John Wayne Gacy.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Albert Fish was an entirely different person from Ed Gein. And I couldn't name serial killers on Will way too easily. I apologize.
Yeah, well, if you want to bring you say that nothing against anybody out there that knows serial killers, but that's the shitty thing about it is.
You mean know them personally, or know of them?
No. What I'm saying is no, not the serial killers. Yeah. I'm just saying naming
I get
Jeffrey Dahmer and that.
I'm sorry, the boosh is disarming my first impressions of what you're saying sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. But what I'm saying is that the crappy thing all about this is that we talked about the media and stuff. It shoves it down your throat.
Sure.
You don't know the victims' names. You don't. The only famous thing that comes out of it is the murderer, the person that committed the crime.
Well, it's
because it's like Gibbs was saying, it's entertaining and that's mortifying. Because these things happen.
Yeah.
And people
that's a solid point, Tyler. I mean, I hate to interrupt you there, but that's a remarkable point. If you think about it, I mean, I know at least 7 serial killers by name.
Yeah.
And I can only name one victim by name, and that's because she was famous.
Sharon Tate.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's
I was
the thing.
Guessing. That's the only victim I know of.
And
right.
I don't. Yeah,
and that's probably the only. I wonder how many people listening went Sharon Tate. Oh my God, that's the one.
Yeah. I almost thought Nicole Simpson for a second, but then I'm like, well, I don't think that was considered a serial killing. Because I mean, that was like his only one.
Right.
That's why I don't drink grape juice.
Right.
Because juice kills.
Yeah.
Right. But that wasn't Jessica Simpson though. That was Nicole Simpson.
Nicole Simpson.
I think you said Nicole Simpson.
No, I thought he said Jessica.
He might have. I can't remember.
Jessica is the chicken of the sea girl.
She's a singer. She was a singer.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know.
Back when those TVs came out.
Yeah, those colored TVs. We got 2 now in my house.
Dang. That's swell.
But yeah,
we're stupid. I love it.
It's entertaining. Yeah. And like even the sick thing about it, I'm sorry that if anybody hasn't watched the Dahmer thing, one of the episodes is when he's actually in jail.
Yeah,
he gets fan mail, and they're starting to send him money.
Wow.
Yeah, they put money in his commissary.
Yeah,
yep, absolutely. Son of a bitch out there was sending him fan mail.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
Wow.
And the terrible thing too was,
I guess I'm not too shocked.
And another thing terrible was it showed one of the victims' mothers. Somebody made a comic book about Dahmer, and they sent it to her, asking her for her autograph.
Wow.
It's like
I mean,
messed
that's
up, man.
the thing is like we have this weird, demented hero worship where the hero doesn't have to be, you know,
right?
It doesn't have to be the good guy, you know. It can be the antithesis of that. Did I say that right? Antithesis? That sounds weird to say. You know, so, you know, just being famous and doing something extreme creates hero worship.
Right.
You know, that's why recently there's been a huge movement to, like, anytime there's a mass shooter, people are like, don't even say his name. Don't give him credit.
Yeah.
Talk about the victims or talk about the heroes that stopped him.
Don't give it power. Yeah.
Don't give it power.
And that's another thing, too, we talked about in that episode, too, is the mass shooters, like people like that. That is not somebody that is finding enjoyment out of the killing. They're finding enjoyment out of the moment of doing it.
I still feel that a mass shooter is partially like society's fault. I'm not saying that they're singled out, but I'm saying like the pressures that are being put down on people. Look at, what was the dude's name that built the super bulldozer? Remember that?
Oh, yeah, the Killdozer.
The Killdozer, right?
I saw that.
Dude, now let's talk about that for a second, because that guy was not a mass shooter. That guy is a fucking national hero.
Exactly, and here we sit.
He
you know, like we admire this guy because he was pushed to the edge, and he literally was like, "No, fuck that. Here's my line in the sand, in the fucking sand, and I'm building myself a Killdozer."
And well, let's put this out there too. I don't think he killed. I don't remember him saying that he killed anybody. He
didn't kill a single person.
No,
he just did well, he did kill one person. He killed himself.
I just meant in context though that he was pushed to that limit.
He was pushed like because there was
reacted differently.
He was pushed to that
his name.
He was
is
like
Marvin Keymeyer.
There we go. Okay.
Does anybody? Either of you guys know the actual story, like what caused him to go over?
Yeah. I was just about to get into that. Like, it was about like properties and stuff that he owned.
No. It was a muffler shop. All right. So let me tell you exactly what happened. Killdozer owned a muffler shop.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The city council in the area, whoever was at the top of that seat, had a brother-in-law or a cousin, I can't remember which.
It was another business that was on the thing.
That also wanted to build a muffler shop, right? So the city rezoned Killdozer's shop to where it was no longer business district, where he could not operate a business out of his facility. Yeah. They rezoned it because of that, right?
Right.
To give the opportunity to the city councilman's nephew, son, brother, cousin, whatever he was.
Right.
They basically used nepotism to put him out of business.
Yeah.
And that is what put him over the edge. And that's why when he rampaged, he went for his competition's muffler shop, city hall, public buildings.
And yeah, everybody that was on that like zoning commission too.
No.
Like there was like I think there was a hardware store where he I think that's where it busted a line, a coolant line, and he got stopped right there. So I think it was like something like, and they blocked off where they zoned it to where his like road, like it wasn't accessible. He would have to go through that person's property to get to his place. So that was another thing, because there was a multiple things. It basically was going to put him out of business, and they even there was multiple things that saying that he was in the right. Like, this is bullshit, and they just wasn't budging because there were so many people on that committee that basically just screwed him over. I don't know if it was just because he settled down there with a woman. He was from somewhere else, I can't remember, but he settled down in that area, so he wasn't a native. So I don't know if that was the reason why they did it. I know that it was part of a business too, but I don't know why would you what was the purpose of destroying this person? Was it just because of money, or was it more of just okay, this guy's not from here, let's screw him over?
Right.
So I that's and I get that. I get the whole thing like that. We're not. And let's throw this out there too. We're not justifying anybody doing these types of things, but we gotta shed light on the fact that people do get pushed to the edge. There's things in the world today where we're pushed to our breaking point because of the things that's going around in our area. We're trying to take the high road, but then everybody they're fucking blocking the high road for us.
And there was
there's no way of
also too is we link this, we segued right from mass shootings to this example, and the only similarity is that these people were pushed to their limits. Something happened in their life. I'm a firm believer that bad guys don't start out as just bad guys. Something happens.
A dog, they say the same thing about a dog. A dog doesn't become evil.
That's my cousin. Shout out. Thank you for the horn.
On my end, it sounded like a bicycle horn. I just want you to know that.
It
sounded like a.
It kind of does.
It kind of does.
Got the little Dixie.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, he's got the Dixie horn.
I didn't hear all the notes. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But that's. I feel like like you were saying, is that the only thing that was linked is that they were pushed to the edge, and some of these mass shootings too. Some of them were just. I think that they were already sick too. They just did these things because they wanted to. And that's another thing too, is that they wasn't. I was saying, is that it's not. They're different from a serial killer because they want the only ending in that was they were either going to get caught, or die.
Right.
A serial killer wants it to keep going. He wants to keep the person want to keep doing it over and over and over.
Yeah.
So that's why I think
we used to live in a world where we could even the odds. All right.
Yeah.
And you're literally going to look at me in a second like I'm fucking with you, and I swear I'm not. Okay. Think about back in the 80s. Okay. You go into a restaurant, you eat something, you're like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom. Do you remember what the toilet looked like? Okay, I swear to God, there's going to be a point to this. The toilet used to look like a regular toilet.
Yeah.
It wasn't an industrial toilet yet. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, some guy or woman, I don't know, I'm not a sexist, right? Got pushed to their limit, and they dropped an upper decker.
Oh.
And then the toilet started changing.
So where they don't have the takes on the back.
So more people started fighting back. Society starts to change. Business starts to adapt. And then we have to find other ways. You bring back those toilets, things will calm down.
I feel like you...
The first part of that, I wasn't messing with you, but the second part of it, I definitely was.
When you said that, when you're talking about the 80s and things that people changing things. That brought up an interesting thing that I was thinking about not too long ago. I started looking it up, and I believe I talked to you guys about it at one point in time. We may even talked about it on an episode.
Yeah.
Denny, you may remember this. Tyler, I don't know. I mean, I know it seems like you're not much younger than us, but the time distance is enough to make dramatic differences. Jenny, do you remember when dog turds used to turn white?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that they did. I mean, it was like a big bird poop back then,
and they don't anymore.
They don't. Yeah.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because dog owners finally got fed up and complained that the food companies were putting absolute garbage in the dog food.
Yeah.
And that's why it was turning white.
Oh,
and now because people complained enough, dog turds don't turn white anymore.
Okay, this is a weird segue.
But yeah, I mean, it is. It's like society changes, and it puts more stops in place, and people can't, let that outlet out anymore.
Well, the main thing that for that society will change. I just don't think. The main thing that people are wanting to change, especially for, let's say, mass shootings, is more gun control.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm going to get hate on this so much.
YouTube's going to have a blast with this.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's not.
We're never going to have any more views on YouTube. He said gun control.
It's not the
This
gun.
episode's going to get 17 views.
I don't even think that. Probably a 1.5.
It'll be Travis going, fuck yeah.
It'll be Travis and me checking in to say, yeah, I like it.
And Russ, dude. Russ.
Yeah.
Russ he's been pretty big in there.
But
that's true. We got to give a shout out to Russ.
It's not the guns that's doing it. And plus, these more restrictions, I get it to make sure that the person's seeing, but you're just making it more difficult for somebody to actually make sure that he can defend his own house, defend himself, because we like to believe that we live in
we're not there yet.
We live in a world that is so peaceful, but we have mass shooters.
Yeah, we're just not there yet.
And that brings me to another point. Probably, I want to say this was back in the summer, probably 5 months ago. So apparently, a guy, I want to say I think he was just a brand new carry concealed permit holder. He had a gun. He had it tucked away, but he was in a mall.
Mm-hmm.
A guy came in with a gun, started to shoot people.
Yeah.
He shot back and got the guy. And now they were saying that he shouldn't have had the gun, and people were bitching about that because he was not supposed to have it in that building. So I'm confused on the line here.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that okay? I understand the bullshit behind a gun. A gun only has one purpose, is to kill, and I understand why people are afraid of it.
Could we entertain the idea that there's many pieces to the way laws and things and even public opinion work, right? It's not just a few people saying, "Hey, man, this makes sense. Let's do this." It's millions of people doing it all at the same time, right? So if you've got a machine with 1 million moving parts,
yeah,
are there going to be mistakes? Are there going to be differences that don't make the machine work smoothly? Me personally, I've done a lot of soul searching on this very subject, and I'm a gun owner, right? But my thing is that I could give two shits what anybody really thinks, I should own or not. That doesn't matter to me because it's not their business. It's my business whether I own a gun or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to this other person. But see, some people feel that me being a gun owner might be a danger to them. And we're just different different cogs in the wheel here. You know what I mean? Like we're not whatever. We're different pieces. So there's gonna be differences from opinion to opinion. So my thought is that I don't know that one opinion is better than another.
Yeah.
We have to get better at figuring out how to keep the machine working with all these opinions. I'm probably talking out of my ass.
But I like to go off of that. I feel like there's too many things going on and not enough people to fix the problem. So
Sure.
Because one problem will arise, then another. So you'll fix 3 and 6 more will pop up. So we're always in a constant fix. But I feel like no matter what we do, is that I feel like it's cut and dry on that fact is that we don't live in a safe world because we do have these types of people like serial killers, mass shooters, just people that want to do harm to people. And I don't want anybody, no matter what your opinion is on this subject, I want to make sure that you have the tools to make sure that you're safe and your family is safe. Like you can yell at me until you're blue in the face about that, but no matter what, I want you to be safe. Just like I want Denny to be safe. I want the person down the road to be safe. I want Josh to be safe. And I want all of our listeners to be safe. So you got to understand that owning a gun, that's your preference. If you don't want to, don't do it. But you got to understand where where people that own guns, why they own it. It's not that we want a fucking all-out war.
Excuse me.
Or any of that sort. It's that we don't live in a perfect world.
Dude, I mean, think about like everything the 90s taught us.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had DARE, which was a total failure, right?
Yeah, it was a dramatic.
My DARE officer got caught selling drugs.
That's what I'm saying. Like DARE, it didn't work out. The whole, the crusade for safe sex.
Yeah.
I mean,
the satanic panic of the 80s and 90s.
Yes. These are ideas, and we try them, and they don't work sometimes.
Right.
Some stuff does work. I mean, some stuff works okay, and then other stuff doesn't work so good.
Right. And what's the running progress? What's the running joke, like, especially for like our generation? Like we were told growing up, don't talk to strangers, don't get into strangers' cars. And then like the internet came out, we were told don't get on the internet and talk to strangers. And what do? We get on the internet and talk to a stranger and to tell them to bring a car so we can get into it now.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like everything that we said was a bad idea now is normal. So it's works in progress. Right now, I mean, gun control and the idea of gun control and violence in public is a work in progress. 10, 20 years from now, it might be a different story. I don't know.
And let's face it, anybody that relies on the U.S. government as the end-all, be-all of knowledge, I know now we're only going to get like a half a view. I think Russ is probably going to try to watch it, and so is Travis.
Every time
like YouTube's going to just turn it off.
We can just see a little counter, just minusing views from YouTube.
But Denny, as a child of the 80s, you remember when eggs were bad.
They were, yeah. But now they're good though. Eggs are back on they're back on the good team again.
There was a fucking for those of you that don't remember or weren't alive then, there was a fucking campaign to tell people to not eat eggs.
Yeah, eggs are bad. Cholesterol.
And then there was a campaign to drink milk.
Yeah.
And now we're finding out the entire opposite.
Yeah, milk is bad. Eggs are good. Eggs are okay.
I think
right.
Eggs called and they're not mad at us anymore.
We should have known that about the milk. Because a milk is...
It's super cow juice.
Yeah, it's to plump, a cow is supposed to be big.
You're trying to grow a 1,000-pound animal in the quickest possible time.
And that's what it comes from.
And that's what milk is for,
And we're drinking it now that we're wondering why half our population's fat.
Yeah. You know what? Let's let these guys have their day. And you know what? To get you local bands on board with this idea, we're going to play one for the outro today. So here's one from Stereo Mammoth called Blame It On God. So enjoy that, and you all take care of each other out there.
Mwah.
See you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Can't wait to have you back on.
Fuck yeah. That's also good.